Hello, I am here. How are you all today? If anyone's there, let me know. Let me know if you're there. Let's see, what can I talk about? I've got, if Jasmine comes today, I'm going to ask some questions about HOMESTUCK because, I've got some questions that I could ask. I think I more or less understand what's going on intuitively. But yeah, it's very, very intricate, the whole thing. Like, I know that the kids are saving the world. That's basically the idea. But there's a little bit more to it than that. Because there's all these other factions that are involved and everything's non-linear and such. But yeah, what can I talk about? Let's see, I didn't watch Alien yesterday. I did watch Pluribus yesterday. I'm still watching that show. I enjoy that show much more than Alien Earth, for sure. Alien, like, I understand why people like Alien Earth. I'm just disappointed with the main character and at least where I'm up to. I feel like the side cast is better. But yeah, Pluribus is very fascinating. And I haven't even seen Breaking Bad, so I wasn't even like hyped up from that show or anything, because they're by the same creator. Let me just check see if anyone's here. Let's see, everything seems to be going good so far. I don't see anyone here, but that's okay. That's why I ramble for a bit before I do these read-alongs. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I'm currently working on a video about murder drones. And I was hoping when people show up I could get some feedback about that, in terms of the audio quality for a sample I've got going. I'm probably going to have to work on it. I just want to know if I'm in the right direction in terms of how it sounds, because I need to get rid of the echo that's in my sound and all that stuff. Let's see. What else could I talk about? Yeah, sorry, I did go to bed early last night, but for some reason I just can't sleep. I just haven't been able to sleep very well at all. So that's a bit. And I tried to call my friends yesterday to see how they were going, but I guess they were all busy. And yeah, but other than that, it's been a bit of a boring weekend. I finished yesterday's stream early because somebody was coming over yesterday, and they did come over, and unfortunately it wasn't a great interaction, but I think I understand where I stand with that person better now. But I probably should have just it's something to call off. Anyways, I better not go there. Trying to think of something to talk about. Smiling Friends is a good show that I'm enjoying the new season of that as well. I haven't really watched any new anime for a while. Like, I think the last anime I saw was Attack on Titan. But yeah, I think I don't want to say like I've outgrown anime. It's just I haven't been curious to check it out for a while. But I haven't even really been reading that much manga either. But I know I've got some manga around that I could check out. Like, I've got 20th Century Boys. That's what I need to read. I've read it before. I've just never finished it. That's the thing. And I've been trying to find the live action movies to watch at some point, because I'd like to see how that gets adapted, because it's a crazy story. Yeah, so just let me know if anyone's here. if you're here, if you pop in. There's a possibility I might have to put these streams back a bit later. I don't know, maybe this works. Maybe this works. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else? Any updates on Homestuck? Yeah, so I don't really think that the Homestuck animated series is going to go anywhere, to be honest. Yeah, I don't see it going anywhere. I'm just looking at this poster and I'm like, okay, that's the dad, and I think that's one of the trolls. One of the trolls from the future. So I was looking up Andrew Hussey's work, and apparently there's something called Hive Swap. I think I've heard of it before. It sounds familiar, but apparently Hive Swap is specifically a story about the trolls, or the species of the trolls, and I think that comes out like chronologically, or I don't know. It comes out like after Homestuck or something. Okay, so I'm just thinking about the story of Homestuck. I think it's like, okay, they play this game that destroys the world, but and what destroys the world is a bunch of meteors, and I think the meteors is the veil that the trolls come from. I think that's what's going on. And that's why they're like really pissed off at these guys for screwing up that badly. But I guess I'm confused about like why playing a video game resulted in destroying the world. But it's hard to like ask. One of the reasons I haven't really been questioning it that much is because I get the sense that that would spoil the story somehow, because it's a very different way of writing, a very different way of storytelling. So I'm going to try and call my friend today. Well, he might not want to talk to me though, because I said that if he doesn't watch Has-Been Hotel season 2 this weekend, then I'm going to start dropping season 3 leaks on us, both of us, because I know how to get the season 3 leaks. I'm just avoiding it because I don't want to be spoiled for season 3. Though I'm aware of one thing, but I'm hoping that what I know about season 3 is either fake or it gets changed, because I heard this particular twist and I was just like, oh, okay, really? That was my reaction to that. Yeah, so, but I'd like to try and talk to him and see if I could try to convince him to check out Homestuck, because I don't know, I think he might find it, I don't know, like I think he'd, well, okay, because I know that it's against his sensibilities, but he might like it. Or he might not like it though, he might just be like, yeah, that's okay, or that's interesting, but he might not like it. And I'm not entirely sure, I'm still trying to figure out, like, do I like Homestuck? And because I'm still kind of confused about what exactly is going on. Like, it is fascinating how the story has gone about telling its story, but I just don't know, like, I don't know, there's still, I guess, like, there's still a lot of, maybe it's just because it's in a medium that's hard for me to appreciate. Like, I do like the dialogue, like, when they're all, like, chatting to each other. That's my favorite part. But, I mean, it is multimedia, and I do like that. But, I don't know, I guess maybe I just like it's very unique for what it is. For what it is. Like, I feel like, and you know what, I would say that with Homestuck, my feeling for it is that I have affection for it. But I guess I just want to know, like, I guess I'm wondering, will there be a satisfying character arc that will take place over the whole story? Also, the story starts on the 13th of April 2009. And I know that the story goes, well, it's published up till 2016. And I'm just wondering, in terms of the story's passage of time, has it still been just one day in the universe of Homestuck, or has it been a couple of days yet? Like, how much time has actually passed in Homestuck? Now let me just load the page. Now we're just going to go back, because I'm going to watch that in a moment. So we're like 3, 5, 6, 8 pages in. So we're like, over 3,500 pages, 3.5, something like that. And I'm not sure how much time has actually passed in this story. Let's see, hang on. Is the troll like jetpacking down to where John is or something? Is that what's going on? So that's okay. So that's oh wait, no, that's not. No, that's just John. That's jetpacking, and Dave was pestering him. So then we saw their dialogue, and then wait, goddamn. And then CG started pestering him while he's still jetpacking. Okay, while I'm waiting for everyone else to get here, I'm just gonna watch Jack Ascend again. This is such a cool song. And I love the way that the animation is timed to the song as well. It just really works. There we go. That's the mum. So I'm wondering what the mum's deal in the story is. Yes, so I do think that. So I personally think that. Oh, that's right. It was the end of year one. So is that like a mini Earth or something that was there? I couldn't tell. So I do think that Homestuck has a lot of potential to become like an animated series, but I just don't know. I just don't know if that would. I just don't know that it could ever happen in a way that would do it justice. I just don't think. I just don't think that anymore because. Yeah, I'm just thinking about like. I can't rewatch. I can't rewatch the pilot episode until my audience like gives me permission to watch it again, because they're concerned that if I watch it again I'll get spoiled on it. But I can't recall anything that happens in the pilot that would spoil me on it. I just don't know what they're referring to exactly, other than like I know there was that whole thing of Jade, it's like you can see the future, but like whatever. I guess that was a little too obvious when they put it that way, but other than that I can't think of anything else that could spoil me on. But I hope I can watch it again just to sort of compare it to how I feel about the comic, just to see the comparison. Yeah, I just don't know how this could be adapted. Alright. Well, it's been 20 minutes since I started the stream. I don't know if anyone's here yet. Or at least no one's made themselves known to me yet. So, just wonder. I should start reading. I think that's what I think. Let's locate the fourth wall. Okay, so this is the screen that we were watching everybody on, probably. So let's activate. Who the hell is that guy? AH, engage in highly indulgent self-insertion into story. Okay. What? Oh, hello. This is always such a terrible idea. Leave me alone. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. What? Hell, oh, hell no. This is always such a terrible idea. Leave me alone. Okay, so I'm seeing on the screen the thing that was in the Flash animation as well. So he's watching this all on his computer. AH. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Is AH Andrew Hussey? Let me look up a picture of Andrew Hussey for a minute. Yeah, that's Andrew Hussey. Oh no, it really is Andrew Hussey. Oh my God. Okay. He's making the webcomic on his. He's writing it on a book there, and he's making it on his. And he's like making it on his. This is like inside the. So he's not watching, he's making the... And he's literally talking to us. So Andrew Hussey is a character in his own comic. What the heck? This is amazing. I'm so flabbergasted right now. Okay, let's examine the wall. I do remember this shot from the pilot. I do remember. Yeah, I remember there was a guy in the pilot, like during the whole there was like a whole montage towards the end, and a guy just like went up against the window, and I was like, like was that? I really cause I was literally saying before that I don't have permission to rewatch the pilot, and I'm just wondering, is this what the audience was referring to? Is that what the... Hello, Zach Sky. Yep. How are you? This is amazing. I was not expecting this. Like, I knew it was kind of meta, because, like, it's like, what's his name? Dave makes his own webcomic in the universe of Homestuck. You know, Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff, which is also a comic that exists in real life. This real life. No one was expecting this. I bet they weren't. Yeah. I'll keep reading. You really wish your side of the wall had an off switch. So this is a window. So is this a window or 4 computers? Because I thought this was the 4 computers that we were watching. Wayward Vagabond was watching the kids on, but now he's here on all 4 of them. You really wish your side of the wall had an off switch, which is to say, I really wish my side of the wall had an off switch. So so I feel like if I don't know how you could adapt this into the actual web series. Like, you would have to get Andrew Hussey to voice himself in it, right? That's what you'd have to do. Which is to say, I wish my side of the wall had an off switch. So he's saying to us, you wish your side of the wall had an off switch. And he's saying, but the feeling is mutual. I wish I had an off switch as well. So does this mean that... Okay, so so who's he talking to? Is he talking to us, or is he talking to Wayward Vagabond? Okay, it's the 4th wall. So that means that... he could be breaking the 4th wall as in we are literally a character in the story, but that could also just be because I remember at the beginning, the whole you thing, you thought that you were, you were actually John, but then we actually found out that actually the whole you thing was because that was all from another character's perspective. It wasn't the narrator telling you stuff. The narrator is Wayward Vagabond, and now I'm so confused. He's talking to the reader, so he's literally talking to the reader, and Wayward Vagabond is not the reader. It's literally us, right? My God. Okay, forget it. Go back to work. Go back to work. What work? Okay. You're just going to ask me to recap Homestuck, though. I don't know why you'd want to sit there and watch me type. This is going to be pretty long. Yeah. Recap first year of Homestuck. Homestuck began on April 13, 2009, the 13th birthday of John Egbert. Okay. Show the recap log. Okay, yeah, this might be helpful for me, actually. Kind of. Oh, God, there's no straightforward answers when it comes to Homestuck. Homestuck began on April 13th, 2009, the 13th birthday of our chief protagonist and future boy Skylark, John Egbert. 3 days prior was supposed to be the day he received the Spurb beta in the mail, but it was running late. It showed up later that afternoon, and after overcoming a variety of domestic adversities, he retrieved the game along with a birthday package from his internet friend, Dave Strider. John soon established a game connection with another friend, Rose Lalonde. Who's Rose Lalonde? Oh yeah, Rose. Her last name's Lalonde. I just didn't recognize that. Who'd spent the day badgering him about playing with her after unsuccessfully attempting to convince Dave to play. Upon connecting, Rose was able to manipulate John's environment, move his future furniture around via cursor, and restructure the shape of his room. John was unable to do this to Rose's environment, however. He'd installed the client copy of the beta and required the server copy for that. The server copy was trapped in his dad's car along with a birthday package from another friend, Jade Harley. Jade messaged John inquiring about the package. As of this moment, neither her package nor the server copy has been recovered by John. Rose had also prepared a package for John but had not mailed it yet. It still sits in her room. Dave's package contained the authentic stuffed bunny from Con Air. Yeah, and I recently watched Con Air. Let me just there are answers, they're just revealed sometimes thousands of pages later, like in this case. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, where am I? In addition to allowing Rose to control John's environment, Spurb provided an array of devices Rose deployed throughout John's house. These devices, used together, provided a system by which the players could manufacture any item using the code on the back of that item's capture log card, if they gathered enough grist to pay for it. Later, they would learn to combine item codes to master the art of punch card alchemy, whereby items could be fused together in purpose and design. Okay. So I'm just wondering, Zach Sky, would you allow me permission to watch the pilot, or would the pilot contain potential spoilers at this point? Would it be too risky to watch the pilot episode? Again, I'm just curious. Let's see. One device on being activated began a countdown and released an entity called a kernel sprite. The countdown ticked down to the moment John's house would be struck by a meteor, destroying his neighborhood to escape this demise. John had to use the device to manufacture a special item. So, to escape this demise, John had to use devices to manufacture a special item that looked like a blue apple. Ah, yeah, I remember that. Let me just check that out. That's right, there it is. And take a bite of it in order to transport his entire house just before impact to the safety of a mysterious dark realm where his house would situate itself atop a tall rock column high above a blanket of clouds. I remember, yep. And that shot, for some reason, reminded me of Hunter x Hunter, the ending of Hunter x Hunter, the anime. This realm is called the medium. So the apple allowed him to transport to the medium. And sometimes the trolls are there. At least I think CG he said that he was in the medium when John asked him where he was. Let's see, let me just check the chat. I don't care, but also I'm not like rabid in the way some other fans are. It's not like anything that happens in the pilot would even make any sense at all without context. Okay. I think the pilot just shows characters and names that show up later. Well, I'll ask Jasmine when I see her, because they're the most enthusiastic about this, about my experience with Homestuck. So I'll let them decide. Okay. Before he entered the medium, though, John and Rose prototyped his Colonel sprite with the large Harlequin doll his dad got him for his birthday, transforming the sprite to bear its likeness, including the ways the doll was disfigured via earlier hijinks. It had a slashed eye and one arm, and so too did the sprite. When John entered the medium, the sprite's kernel hatched, thus imbuing all the enemies John and his friends would face with properties of the sprite. Okay. The lesser adversaries. That's okay. So all of his dad's Harlequins. They all turned into. That's what the clowns are, right? Or. Okay, no, the enemies already exist. It's just now they've been customized to look like Harlequins. Let me just read this. Okay. Technically, the way some of the characters look is a spoiler in the sense that the story itself conceals their appearance for like a long time. But if you've been on the internet this past decade or so, you've probably seen that stuff. Probably. Let's see. Where was I? Properties of the sprite. The lesser adversaries John faced first, shale imps. Let me just check that. So yeah, that's a shale imp guy. All wore Harlequin garbs. They became more powerful and more radically mutated with each successive pre-medium prototyping. Okay. After entering the medium, John's dad was kidnapped by imps. While John was looking for him, he accidentally prototyped the sprite with his grandmother's ashes, transforming it again. This prototyping had no effect on the enemies since he was already in the medium and the kernel had already hatched. Instead, only the sprite was affected, and it took on the appearance, personality, and memories of his grandmother, becoming Nana Sprite. I like Nana Sprite. A game supplied, albeit customized guide for John. Yeah. So it was like a weird way of modding. She explained aspects of the game about Skya residing at the center of the medium. Got it. Beyond 7 gates, floating directly above his house, and about an eternal, timeless war fought between dark and light. Okay, I do remember that. One that light was always destined to lose. Light is always destined to lose, huh? And I remember this part because I drew because something like that also happens in the TV show Lost, kind of, or at least that symbolism happens. It's brought up in the pilot episode of Lost. Yeah. Let's see, okay. Rose, who'd been having frequent internet connection issues, lost her connection as she tried to lift John's car to retrieve the game and the package. The car fell into the abyss below. A storm caused her house to lose power, along with its wireless internet connection. Her laptop was able to run on battery power for a time, while she tapped into the wireless signal from the laboratory next door. When her laptop ran out of power, she had to overcome more family strife and endure a gift pony in the process. Go outside in the rain and plug it into the small generator outside the mausoleum of her dead cat, Jasper's, who has become a sprite now. Jasper Sprite. She continued her session with John inside the mausoleum, while the meteor sparked forest fire surrounding her house grew more intense. Got it. Let's see. How much do you know about object-oriented gaming, programming? Nothing. I don't know anything about that. Okay. She continued her session. Okay. From how long is this? Okay. From the house, Rose's mum opened a secret passage in the mausoleum to help her escape. Rose's mum opened a secret passage in the mausoleum to help her escape. So that was her. Okay. The passage led to the lab next door, where Rose found a stable, portable source of power and internet for her computer. She also found a terminal projecting the impact times and locations for the millions of meteors presently bombarding the planet, along with all the other live sessions of other players around the world. I'm assuming that at some point, the trolls are able to time travel, but I'm assuming that at some point the kids themselves will have to use time travel to fix all of this. Apparently, I do think time travel is what's going to fix all of this in the end. Okay. She also, let's see, where was I? Impact on millions of the world. She also found a little girl's room, a mutant kitchen she named Vodka Mutini, and a cloning machine operating through the science of ectobiology. Its terminal was locked onto her cat Jasper's at whatever point in his life the user specified. Yep, I remember that. She attempted to purify Jasper's from a moment in her early childhood before he whispered a secret to her, but doing so would have caused a paradox. So it paradoxified a pile of slime instead, which would have been traumatizing. Let me just check. Let's see. This is gonna be a hard read then, lol. This is so long. Honestly, one of the longer pages in the comic. Not exactly, but sort of. Okay. Oh dear. Well, I'll definitely read the whole page today, but maybe I'll call this. I might rename this stream later to recap. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it later. She attempted to purify. Actually, I think I could do it. I think I could do it from here, actually. That way it appears on everything. Let's see. So for the continue. Recap. So hopefully that'll appear on everything else. Purify. Let's see. On the monitor, Jaspers then told young Rose the secret, then vanished only to show up dead weeks later and put in the mausoleum for years until the present. Rose left the laboratory moments before it was destroyed by a meteor impact. She transported back to her mum's room, proceeded to her room to wait for Dave to connect with her and rescue her from the next imminent impact. Dave was charged with acquiring his bro's copy of the game to help Rose. Earlier, he had lost his copy of the game to a mishap involving a crow. I remember that. Poor bird. But he's alive now, kind of. The crow sprite with a sword in it. It flew in his window, seized the game, and Dave accidentally impaled it with a sword, sending the crow and the game out the window onto the landing far below his apartment. He searched his bro's room, unable to find it. Was briefly shadowed by a lil cow, I remember that, and then found a note beckoning him to meet on the roof for a confrontation. Yeah, and I'm still kind of confused about what Dave's relationship with his brother is. Dave and his bro dueled on the roof extensively, and Dave was thoroughly bested. Upon defeating Dave, his bro dropped the copies of the game and flew off on his rocket board into the sky. Dave used the copies to connect with Rose and quickly deployed the devices while her house was on fire, surrounded by flaming tornadoes, and minutes away from being destroyed by a meteor. Oh yeah, I remember that shot of the flaming tornadoes. It's a very, very Dave for his setting, I mean. Okay. Rose prototyped her Colonel Sprite with Jasper specifically to understand the meaning of the secret he whispered to her years ago. She was advised to do this by Jade, who told her about the game in the first place. I'm still trying to figure out how what's up with Jade, how I don't know. This I feel like there's still some secrets around Jade. Where was I? Let's see. Rose prototyped her Colonel Sprite with Jasper specifically to understand the meaning of the secret. Yep. She was advised to do this by Jade, who told her about the game in the first place. Dave then prototyped the Colonel Sprite again with the tentacled princess doll given to Rose on her birthday by her mum. Both of these prototypings would have an effect on the enemies once Rose entered the medium and the Colonel hatched. Okay. Rose used the alchemizer to create the special item for her, a purple wine bottle, which she needed to break to enter. Okay. She eventually did, transporting her house just before the meteor collided, and then she ended up in this iridescent world. The meteor left a crater. Over time, at the site of impact, a large white structure that looked like a wine bottle grew there, and the crater filled up with sand as the climate of the post-apocalyptic Earth gradually changed. Yeah, I kind of remember that. The cork of that bottle was a large metal cylinder with an interior much like an advanced science station with a variety of devices and monitors inside. Just give me a second. I just want to check it out. Let's see. Just want to see the crater. Oh, this is one of those flash animations. Okay, hang on. Let me just get my... Hello, in the afternoon. How are you today? Hello, Jeff. I feel like this wasn't too long ago. That's the bottle we're at, the wine bottle. Wait, okay, so the Sprite saved her. Okay, I think I more or less understood that. Okay. Where was I? Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, meteor crater. Let's see. The cork of that bottle was a large metal cylinder with an interior much like an advanced science station with a variety of devices and monitors inside. Yeah. Wait a second. The cork. The cork was... Yeah, okay, hang on. So was this the cork? Is that what we're talking about? So I feel like I was confused about this particular part, but I'll be honest, I never realized that was supposed to be a cork. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that at all until I read this part. With the tree and the apple. It's such a cool shot. I love this shot. There's so many great shots. So I don't technically know if that was supposed to be the cork. I'm still... I don't know. Like, I don't technically know if that was supposed to be the cork. This is the first time where I've had to think about that, because I didn't really question where the spaceship came from before. Okay, the cork on... But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, because it was a large metal cylinder with an interior much like an advanced science station with a variety of devices and monitors inside. 413 years after the meteor impact, the wayward vagabond walked through the desert and discovered this station. Inside, he found canned rations, a firefly he named Serenity, and a purifier and four monitors hooked up to a keyboard. It probably was the ship from the tree is an apple. The ship from the tree is an apple. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Okay. On one of the monitors was John, just after he'd entered the medium. Wayward Vagabond would type commands to John directly, much as the readers of the story could type commands for the characters to follow. Most of John's actions upon entering the medium were authored by Wayward Vagabond until he became preoccupied with other activities, such as building a town out of cans, playing chess with cans, and drawing chalk murals depicting the cosmological arrangement of Skya, the medium. Skya, the medium, the light, and the dark planets known as Prospect and Durs. Okay. And the 4 planets the kids would each occupy upon entering the game, called the Land of Wind and Shade, the Land of Light and Rain, the Land of Heat and Clockwork, and Jade's planet, which is yet to be seen. Okay, we still got secrets. He also activated a countdown in the station, which caused it to blast out of the crater and fly to designated home coordinates along the way. Along the way, it passed over the sand-filled crater that was the impact site for John's meteor on the other side of the continent. Okay. John's meteor had caused a giant white tree to grow in the crater. The 3 grew an apple-like station from a branch, which fell to the sand. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Okay, that all makes sense. This is very interesting world building. The peregrine mendicant found this station after Wayward Vagabond flew overhead. PM, I forgot what PM stands for. Something mailman. Or let's see. Activated her station's homing feature as well, which caused it to fly to the same destination. Hang on. Yep. Just making sure we got it all right. Okay. So it's good to have some clarity about certain things. Okay. So I'm wondering, like, did the wine bottle cork and the apple, like, did those get bigger over time, or did these characters have these characters always been small, and that's just how the world looks to them? I'm curious. Okay. Let's see. Along the way, she used her terminal to attempt to command Jade, who, from the perspective of the terminal, had just arrived in the medium. This caused the terminal to explode for unknown reasons, leaving a hole in the station. One of the station's robotic worms recovered one of PM's falling mailboxes, and she befriended it. After earlier slaying another one with her black Regisword. I remember the Regisword. The meteors contain stations that built up over time in the shape of character objects. Wine for Rose and apple tree for John. Okay, that makes sense. It's kind of like alchemy. It's very kind of like the Nana Sprite. Yeah, just like. Okay. Let's see. Wayward Vagabond landed at the site of the ancient frog ruins. That's probably Jade's home. Across the now dried up Pacific Ocean. The site was once the island where Jade lived, yep. But nothing of the island remained except for the ruins. The mountain her house was on and the volcano next to it were replaced by a large empty chasm. PM landed shortly after Wayward Vagabond, and they met. They were confronted by the aimless renegade who fired at them. Yeah, I remember that guy. He's like covered in police tape or some sort of investigation tape, criminal, crime tape, we'll call it. The renegade. Let's see. PM landed shortly after the aimless renegade who fired at them from the frog ruins with old weaponry he'd been hoarding, once belonging to Jade's grandpa. Okay, yeah. Millions of years ago, the frog ruins grew from a crater struck by a meteor that emerged from a spur portal in space. Okay, so there's like a lot of full-on lore going on in this story. Jade's radioactive omnipotent space warping dog named Bequerel emerged from this crater as well. I was wondering about that. Jade's grandpa pioneered this island and built the house Jade lives in. Her grandpa has been dead for many years. I did not get the impression that the grandpa was dead, and stands stuffed in front of the fireplace. Okay, I see. She has been looked after by her dog, who she calls Beck. Okay, right. Okay, so that kind of changes a few things from before. So I was thinking, okay. Because I was thinking how it's kind of unique how each character was like, you've got, like, John's got his dad, and Rose has her mom. Because, no one seems to have, two parents at any point. It's just John and his dad, it's Rose and his mom, it's Dave and his brother, and then it seemed like it was Jade and her grandpa, but now it's like it's Jade and her pet that is kind of this crazy, omnipresent, immortal being. I don't remember. For some reason, I thought the grandpa was still alive. Maybe I just forgot that because I don't know. It felt like she was talking about him because I didn't she have a conversation with her friends oh yeah, my grandpa bought me this and this and that because she's super rich, and that's why I thought that, because she's only 12 or 13, so I would have thought that that she would have had actual human adults with her. So maybe I just didn't notice that the grandpa died, or maybe I did notice and I forgot. Jade talks to her dead grandpa. That's the joke. Aw, that's not a joke. Let's see, let me just read this. Hang on. Homestuck doesn't get enough credit for being science fiction. Most people only know it through the lens of a coming-of-age story. Yeah, it hasn't felt like a coming-of-age story exactly, other than they're just all turning 13 for the first time. I don't know. I feel like if you're talking to your dead grandparent, it's because you miss them. That's what I would think. That also makes me feel even more sorry for Jade, because she's probably very lonely because there's no humans to talk to other than her online friends. So she's just taking care of herself, and she's narcoleptic, so that's sad. She largely exists to subvert the tropes and patterns the other characters went through, at least at this point in the story. Yeah, she seems very isolated. Let's see, where are we? Okay, built a house, lives in, had dead many years, stuffed in front of the fireplace. She has been looked after by her dog Beck. She begins the day with several tasks to accomplish: to feed Beck and to retrieve a birthday package mailed by John. He radiates a steak and heads outside to the site where the package will be dropped. She knows it will be dropped there because one of the reminders she wears on her fingers jogs her memory about it. She wears them to keep track of the many things she knows about the future through dreams. She falls asleep frequently and spontaneously. She sleeps. When she sleeps, her dream self is awake and living on the moon that orbits the light planet Prospect. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Prospect very closely orbits Gaia, a huge sphere of blue sky and clouds, which Nana describes as a dormant crucible and unlimited creative potential. Okay, a huge sphere of blue sky that, yeah, okay. When Prospect's moon eclipses Gaia, it drifts into Gaia for a time, mingling with the clouds. Dream Jade then witnesses many past and future events in the clouds. Yeah, that's right. While asleep, she is often confused about what is real and what isn't. She wakes up and pieces together future events from her memory of the cloud visions and from logs recorded by her dreambot. Her dreambot is a robotic surrogate that activates while she sleeps in her bed. It mimics in the real world the movement and actions of her dream self on the moon and records video log of what she sees while dreaming. That will probably come in handy later. And also, Dave tricks her into punching herself, her sleep self. Let me just, I just need to sit back for a moment, and I just need to zoom in somehow. Let's see how. Let's see. That's better. Okay. She falls asleep frequently. Hang on. While sleeping. Yeah. Prospect Moon has two towers. Prospect's Moon has two towers of identical design and similar design to Jade's house. Dream Jade lives in one tower. Dream John lives in the other. That's right. John's not very good at like dreaming or remembering dreams. He just kind of like lays there, which is a shame for Jade. I think it's sad that Jade doesn't have anyone to play with in her dreams. Okay. Let me just check. Okay. Okay. Where are we? Still asleep. And John has no knowledge of the dream world, which is to say, the entire game session he would initiate on his 13th birthday. Dream John lives in the other. Dream John is still asleep, and John has no knowledge of the dream world, which is to say, the entire game session he would initiate on his. So the dream world is the entire game session? Is that what this is saying? Okay, let's check out this map. Okay. Let's see. So this is Earth. No, that's not Earth. Wait, where's Earth? Because that's John's planet. This is Rose's planet. That's Dave's planet. That's Durst. That's the Vale that the trolls are from. Okay, so this is Skya, and this is Prospect, which is the moon, and that's where John and Jade's dream selves have their towers. Okay, so this is good world building. And I'm assuming at some point Dave is going to have a planet over here somewhere. The Inciposphere. Earth is in a different universe. Okay, so Earth isn't on this map at all. It's not a factor at all. Okay. When he goes to sleep, instead of waking up on the moon as Jade does, he remains slumbering in his dream room, tormented by his subconscious. Yeah. And that's why, because Rose is trying to fix that with her psychology. This torment is expressed when he sleepwalks and draws troubling scribbles on the walls of his room. Yeah, and that's right. He didn't notice that he just scribbled all over his posters until like Rose pointed it out. It's like it's always been that way. He was like, no, it hasn't, and it's like made him question reality. When awake, he cannot see the scribbles as his subconscious suppresses his awareness of them. It is not until he has a perception-altering revelation about his dad does he begin to see them. He initially believed they were new additions to his room, perhaps scrawled by the imps. However, they were present long before, visible in his room while he prepared Jade's birthday package months ago. Yeah. John prepared a package for each of his three friends, whose 13th birthdays were December 1st, 3rd, and 4th, and were all Capricorns, except for John. He gave Rose a 1st, 3rd, and 4th. He gave Rose a knitting set, and then she took an intense interest in knitting. He gave Dave a pair of shades, Ben Stiller wore in Starsky and Hutch. which he wore from then on, replacing the shades in the style of his bro wore. He gave Jade a blue version of his own ghost shirt and some pumpkin seeds to help her replace the pumpkins that kept disappearing from her garden. But she did not receive this from the birthday John intended. She received it in the past on her birthday when she was very young, causing her to take an interest in gardening in the first place. To take a like, and I'm assuming back then they wouldn't have known each other at all. I would love to. I'm wondering if it'll ever be like shown how the characters met in the first place. Like, how did they come to know each other at all? Received in the past, but they're gardening in the first place. And to eventually befriend John over the internet and lead him, Rose, and Dave down a path where they would ultimately play this game together. Jade did retrieve his package in the present as planned, but immediately took it to another location where it disappeared. Wayward Vagabond in the far future purified it from that location on accident. The package contained further instructions for him. He was to bring it to PM, and she was to use her station's sendificator to send it to another place and time. After she did this, the package appeared in front of young Jade on her birthday. Jade orchestrated the sequence of events through knowledge of them by her own cloud visions. Yeah. Let's see. There are a lot of different universes to keep track of. Yes, indeed. It is. Almost all questions you might have are answered at least briefly in Homestuck, as long as you count joke explanations as explanations. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I gotta say, I will, obviously, the plan is to finish this particular recap, but I do have to say that the beginning of this was very exciting with the whole reveal of Andrew Hussey as a character. I don't know what more the story's going to do with that, if anything. But yeah, just reading this. I guess I could skip it, but I don't want to, just because I am learning stuff from the recap that I might have missed. So I do wanna finish it. But just saying, the beginning of this was stronger than right now. Let's see, orchestrated similar events. She orchestrated similar events for the package she sent to John, plotting this the circuitous route through time and space it was meant to flow. She again utilized the exiles for help while they were still in the medium. Okay, and the exiles are the trolls, right? The exiles are the exiles are Wayward Vagabond, something Mendicant, and something Renegade. Were all formerly agents of the kingdoms before they were exiled by some means to post-apocalyptic Earth. AR as an authority regulator in the land of wind and shade, that's John's world, discovered the package and the beta copy in John's wrecked car as he gave it a parking ticket. Mendicant working as a parcel mistress, recognized the package from a correspondence she had with Jade, on Prospect some time ago. Yeah, that's right, okay. And recalled it must be delivered to John. AR would not relinquish the package, though he did give the beta, which she delivered into a Pixis to satisfy the carved request of a mini tablet. John carved this tablet at the request of PM through the command terminal in the future. AR brought the package to Durst, where it ultimately wound up on the desk of Jack Noir. Jack is an arch-agent of the Dark Kingdom, charged with overseeing affairs through his office's fenestrated wall portals and processing paperwork. He is forced to wear a silly garment in keeping with prototyping themes by the Black Queen, an order he resentfully complies with. He oversaw the imprisonment of John's dad, who broke loose on multiple occasions. When Jack went to handle it personally, John's dad set Jack's hat on fire. In a surly act of gratitude, he released the prisoner. John's dad fled to the land of wind and shade, fought large monsters, got his hat dirty, and lost a shoe. He then carved tablet requests for new ones, which John filled via Pixis, unaware of who requested them. PM followed AR to Durst in hopes of retrieving the package. After wandering around, she continued. She encountered the Black Queen. On her throne. Both the Light and Dark Kingdoms each have a king and a queen. The queen sit on a throne on Prospect and Durst respectively, ruling the planet. Kings command armies on the battlefield located at the center of Skya. The Queen takes on the attributes supplied by the prototypings due to the four-orbed ring she wears. Four-orbed. And I think I know what the four orbs are. When the ring is removed, the Queen is restored to normal. PM showed the BQ, a parking ticket she was pretending to deliver. The BQ directed her to Jack's office, where the ticket should be filed. PM met Jack and asked for the package. I do wish the recap had a bit more, funny, like a voice to it, rather than just like, here's what objectively happened. This is why I like the dialogue the most, because it's the most fun to read the dialogue. It's the most personality driven and funny. It's very funny to read as well. No one would blame you for skipping it. Well, no, I'll keep reading it. I'll keep reading. That's what the stream's going to be today, is just reading the recap. And as I said, even though it's not enjoyable to read, it is giving me clarity about certain things. Like, I didn't really, I wouldn't have remembered at all that Jade's grandpa was dead the whole time. Because, PM met Jack, asked for the package. Jack proposed a deal and gave her a black Regisword. If she would kill the White King and Queen and King and bring him their crowns, he would give her the package. She accepted with little alternative. She then visited the WQ on Prospect and explained the situation with no intention of carrying out Jack's mission. The WQ, understanding the futility of their situation and the need to recover the package, abdicated and gave PM her crown and her ring. I do vaguely remember that. PM was instructed to go find the White King, retrieve his crown, and receive further instruction on what to do with the ring to protect it. WQ would then eventually exile herself to post-apocalyptic Earth. Okay. And I do remember there's somebody, I think WQ is like attacking the four exiles on post-apocalyptic Earth in the future. On post-apocalyptic Earth, after AR fired on Wayward Vagabond and PM from the ruins, he spotted WV's pumpkin, which WV had earlier purified from Jade's house. He recognized the carving of Beck's silhouette on the pumpkin. Fearful of it, he surrendered. The three exiles soon became friends over a campfire and shared bullets. PM operated WV station terminal to submit commands to John as he explored the land of wind and shade. In the sky, another station teleported and fell to the ground. It was shaped like an egg and originated from Dave's meteor impact to enter the medium. Emerging from the station was the windswept Questant, formerly the White Queen. AR and WV sought to impress WQ by crafting a crown for her out of a mailbox. She refused the distinction, instead giving it to PM, who had successfully completed her mission to deliver Jade's package to John in the distant past. The means by which she went about this have yet to be seen. Okay, I was wondering about that. John entered the land of wind and shade, Lois, by having Rose build up his house to the Thirst Gate, fighting through many imps and ogres with his powerful new alchemized weapons and entering the gate. This took him to a location beneath the clouds, far below his house. The lowest turned out to be a large windy planet full of dark terrain, incandescent trees, networks of pipes, and oily rivers. In addition to hosting more powerful adversaries, the land is occupied by friendly consorts, a race of salamanders. I like the salamanders. I like the scene where John tries to recreate the ending of Con Air with the salamanders, and it doesn't work out. They help John understand the mythos of the land and inform him of the planet's persecution by a sleeping denizen, which is responsible for clogging the pipes with oil and trapping fireflies under the clouds. Each planet has a sleeping denizen, which the players must first wake and then kill in the course of their journey through the 7 gates. Rose's planet, the land of light and rain, Lola, is a multicolored ocean planet with white sandy islands and pink ruins. And I do like the aesthetic of Rose's planet more than I do John's. But I think we've seen a bit of Dave's planet as well, and I did like the aesthetic of that as well. Where were we? Sandy islands and pink ruins, and has a denizen responsible for killing all life in the water. Dave's planet, the land of heat and clockwork, Lohak, is a lava planet covered in industrial steel frame structures and turning gears, and has a denizen of yet unknown qualities. Cool. Yeah, and I said of Lohak that it kind of reminded me of the Hell Sewer in the game Fez. Let me just check the chat real quick. Homestuck only becomes more dialogue-centric as the story goes on. That's good. That's how it should be done. That's its strength, is the dialogue, so that's a good thing. Killing the denizens releases a huge grist horde buried at the core of the planet, which is then used to fuel a process known as the ultimate alchemy. Along the way, the kids are meant to learn about their destined roles in this quest as the heir of breath, John, Seer of Light, Rose, Knight of Time, Dave, and Witch of Space, Jade. Over the course of their quest, the Dark Kingdom will inevitably defeat the Light Kingdom. The Black Queen and King will take control and initiate the Reckoning. This affects a belt of meteors called the Veil, which orbits far from Skya, between the 4 planets Endurse, and is host to various lab facilities used by the kingdoms. The Reckoning causes the meteors to descend on Skya, ultimately destroying it unless the Black Queen and King can be defeated in time. Skya, however, buys time by opening defense portals to catch many of the meteors, redirecting them elsewhere in space and time. Okay, so that's how that happens. So I'm kind of confused about, like, is the world, like this whole Skya world and the Veil, like, is that all, that's all part of the game, right? But then, and so, okay, so that's all part of the game, or did it exist before the game? But playing the game is what, so this is what causes Earth to be destroyed, and it's because they played the game, or was it because the world, this particular world, is real? This is the generic template for the way the game is supposed to proceed. It can deviate from this model, however, depending on the actions of the players, and the details of the game mythology presented is unique to each group of players and their session. Long before John and his friends started playing the game, another group of players had been persistently trolling them, particularly Jade. They are furious about an action she will take that will cause major problems in the 4 kids game session and inevitably lead to their defeat. Specifically, Jade will send a package to John, apparently containing a powerful weapon he will need later. But the package winds up in the hands of Jack Noir, leading to dire consequences. They allude to other things she will do that will lead to not only trouble for the 4 kids, but the troll players as well. The trolls consist of 12 kids from an alien planet who went through the same process as John and his friends, escaping from the annihilation of their planet via meteors and into the medium to play the game. Okay, so they're like survivors. Their game session is entirely separate from that of the 4 kids. Who made this game? It has the same basic template with its own Skya, Prospect, Durst, Veil. Hang on. Their game session is entirely separate from that of the 4 kids. It has the same basic template with its own Skya, Prospect, Durst, Veil, and a planet for each troll, but separate game instances of these. Okay, so there's like duplicates going on. So there's like copies of the same universe. They also have different instances of the same character templates, such as the kings, queens, and agents like Jack Noir. The trolls have completed their game session with yet unknown results. They now reside on a meteor in their veil, sitting at terminals trolling John and company. From their terminals, they can choose any point in the past or future of the kids to troll and observe what they're doing at the moment. As a group, their only stated objective is to harass the kids, which they do so haphazardly throughout different points in the kids' timeline. Though they can choose any point on the kids' timeline to talk, they are mostly resigned to the understanding that no matter what they do, they can't change the outcome of the kids' actions. The foremost vociferous trolls so far have been Carcinogenicist, Gallows Calibrator, Grim Auxiliatrix, and Adios Toriota. The other 8 being Apocalypse Arison, Twin Armageddons, Arsini Catnip, Aracharip, Centaur, Testicle, Color, each yet to be heard from. Carcinogenesis, CG, appears to have spearheaded the group's trolling campaign. While he was in the thick of this game session, the exile commanding him from a terminal in the apocalyptic future was Spade Slick. Okay, gotcha. So, I guess for like the main characters, John and his friends, the whole like universe about the whole thing with the Wayward Vagabond and the rest of them, that's part of their world. But whereas in their world there's the Midnight Crew webcomic, but the Midnight Crew is like what Wayward Vagabond is for the trolls, probably. Let me just read this. The game is everywhere and nowhere. I don't know where it begins or ends. You need to stop thinking about where the borders of the game are. Okay. So it just literally doesn't matter. The world is ending because of the game, but also it was always going to end, and the game only exists as a clock predicting the end and providing an alternative. Both and neither are true. The status of the game exists in a quantum superposition between causative and correlative to the end state of the... okay, then. I'll just stop thinking about it. This is... let's see, where are they? This is one difference between this game session and John's, who had Wayward Vagabond as an exile commanding him. In CG's session, his version of Jack Noir became exiled along the way and took on the name Spade Slick. Okay, yeah, because I did notice that the Midnight Crew looked like the same as the imps of John's world. Okay. 3 other agents were exiled with the 4 of them, and the 4 of them formed a gang called the Midnight Crew and spent years building up a dark city in the future wasteland of the Trolls' dead planet. A future wasteland, okay. Another difference in the Trolls session is that at some point along the way, the Black Queen was also exiled, later joined a rival gang called the Felt, and she's like 8-ball. Assumed special powers that make her highly inadvisable to kill, and became to be known as Snowman. And she's got like a... I don't know, she's got like a... They spell her name in a particular way. It was not until Slick confronted the Felt in their mansion that he discovered the station terminal to command CG, and not before Snowman blinded him in one eye, severed his arm, and locked him in a vault. Each troll has a different trolling strategy and a different rhythm by which they hop around the kids' timelines to chat with them. Let's see. A different rhythm to which they... to chat with them. Okay. CG's strategy is for the most part, was to begin trolling them at the very end of their adventure. The moment at which he was most angry with their actions, and then gradually work backwards, mostly talking to John. This proves to be mutually frustrating, though, as John knows less and less about the situation the further into the past CG goes. Similarly, the further into the future John progresses, the more he has the advantage over CG by knowledge of his future conversations with him, and vice versa. Over the course of the opposing directions of the two sides of the conversation, John learns more about the nature of the game and why they're being trolled in spite of hostility. And in spite of hostility, they gradually befriend each other through and inevitably alluded to on both sides of the conversation. Okay. Early in the correspondence between John and CG, which is to say late for CG, CG discovers he needs to get in touch with Jade, who refuses to talk to him in that time period. So he delivers a message to her much earlier, months in her past, telling her she needs to contact him when she's in trouble. She will know to do this when her dreambot explodes in the future, an outcome that has not yet happened. Well, thanks for the spoiler recap. I think you had one job. Two other trolls, Grim and Adios, GA and AT, have targeted only Rose and Dave thus far. GA has hopped arbitrarily back and forward in Rose's timeline to talk to her, and is attempting to cultivate a friendship with her that now seems rigged through a series of conversational time loops while seeking counsel from Dave on how to befriend her. I remember that conversation. And they seem suitable for each other, but in my opinion, but I could be wrong. AT sought counsel from Rose on how to troll Dave more effectively after getting severely counter-trolled by him. He is under the impression he rebounded nicely there, okay. He's now under more effectively after getting severely counter-trolled by him. Okay. GC, and this is the blind one, I'm pretty sure, has stayed mostly linear in her trolling patterns, and has done so under the guise of helping the kids on their quest. Under the guise of helping them. She got John killed at one point. She convinces John to take a shortcut through his land, shows him the Denizen's palace, leads him to walk back to his house, then shows him how to fix the faulty rocket pack he made earlier through an alchemy mishap. She tells him to use the rocket pack to fly to the 7th gate, enter the Denizen's palace, and kill it in its sleep. He complied with this and flew through the 7th gate in spite of reservations from Dave, who just entered the medium the moment before John took off, and that particular Dave will become a sprite. GC also assisted Rose just after she bested an ogre with ease. She counseled her on understanding her role as the seer of light, and the meaning of the voice in her head as an exile issuing commands from a terminal. In her case, it was the exiled White Queen issuing commands from the egg-shaped station in the future. Since Dave is Rose's server player, the terminal station from Dave's impact site issues commands to Rose. Just as the station at Rose's site, which Wayward Vagabond found issues commands to John, her client player. Okay. After conversing with GA, Rose found Jasper Sprite and interrogated him about the secret which she found so maddeningly mysterious years ago. She explained elements of the mythos of her land and how she'd learned to play the rain to produce the musical analog of a genetic code to reintroduce life into the ocean. In response to her question about his secret, he simply replied, "Meow." She mistook this for more nonsense, but it was in fact the secret he told her years ago. The four-letter sequence meow unlocked a genetic code in her subconscious, which she would spend years scrawling on her wall, using those letters in place of the typically used GCAT letters, while completely oblivious to the scrawlings and their meaning, just as John was. As Jasper said, she would understand their meaning when her dream self wakes up. Okay. Rose's dream self lives in a tower on the moon of Durs. Dave's dream self lives on the same moon in the other tower. It was suggested by Rose's future self, who was fully awake in the tower, that Dave had already been awake in his tower all along without realizing it. This was suggested in a conversation she had in the future with Dave. It was an alternative future timeline, not meant to be. Okay. This future timeline came about by this series of events. Dave was able to enter the medium by connecting with Jade as his server player. Jade got copies of the game from the Frog Ruins after she delivered John's package to her past self. She snuck into the ruins while Beck was asleep and retrieved the game from a Lotus time capsule which had been ticking down for millions of years. The game was Dave's copy from the future, the same one that fell out of the window with the impaled crow. Once she got the game, the time capsule started ticking down again, set to expire 413 years later, when the exiles are there. She dropped some items in the ruins, leaving them there for AR to find, and leaving her base jammed in the elevator. Beck then found her there, took her back to her room, and grounded her there for the rest of the evening. She quickly helped Dave set up the game, upgrading his alchemiter heavily and crafting the special item he needed to enter the medium, a red egg, which needed to be incubated and hatched to activate. She prototyped this kernel sprite with the impaled crow, which would affect the enemies later, including the Black Queen. The sprite built a nest on top of his apartment antenna tower and stole the egg to incubate it for hours. A very large meteor was soon bearing down on his city. Dave then entered the medium through a series of unseen events. Jade was asleep, thus forbidden by Dave from interacting with his environment at all. Jade complied for fear of retribution. Dave was faced with the crow sprite, which appeared to be suggesting he prototyped it again with the remains of Lil Cow. Dave consulted with John on this, who was about to rocket up to the seventh gate. John had no advice and proceeded up through the gate against better judgment. Dave prototyped the sprite with Cal. John entered the palace, presumably found the denizen, and was easily killed by it. So that John died, as was the intent of GC's trick on him. This meant John could not establish a connection with Jade to rescue her from the looming meteor, and Dave and Rose lost contact with her, presuming her dead. Yeah, it's kind of funny how like death is like a thing that can happen in this world, like to the main characters in a way. Dave and Rose then spent the next 4 months in the medium, advancing as far as they could to collect information before Dave decided to travel back in time to change the events. And I forgot how they're able to do time travel in this story as well. Dave used his table to go back to the moment he was about to prototype with Cal. Both he and his past self strongly urged John not to go through the gate. John was reluctant at first, but soon reconsidered and flew down beneath the clouds. Future Dave then gave present Dave all his advanced gear and prototyped the Crow Sprite with himself to make Dave Sprite, thus serving as his own guide through the future, which was really funny. Before going back in time, Future Dave convinced Future Rose to go to sleep. He suggested her dream self would be unaltered by the timeline shift, and in her dream state she would remember the events from the future. Okay. When Dave went back, Rose's future dream self assumed the position of Rose's present dream self. Rose fell asleep, and on Dursa's moon she instantly woke up. She then saw the genetic scrawlings she did in meow letters and understood their meaning. Meanwhile, on Durst below, the Black Queen again insisted that Jack Noir abide by the dress code. He refused, and the Queen threatened him. He picked up Jade's package. He picked up Jade's package to John, removed what was inside, and used it to slice her ring off. He then killed the Black Queen, put on the ring, and donned the full upgrade supplied by the 3 prototypings. He then became Jaxper's Noir Crow, which is a name I just made up now. This is the first funny thing I've read in this. And I like how, like, this is kind of like the first time where it's like we're using first person narration, I think is, I'd say the first person narration. Just made up now. And then after that, you started watching me type in this ridiculous study. I photoshopped myself with my cool horse painting propped up in the background. Let me just check that out again. Let's see, Andrew's blog. Okay, so this is his blog. Okay, cool. Nice. I remember this. I used to do blogs like this. I miss those days. Need for the Steed. Cool. Alright then. Well, I'm going to save it here. And we'll pick this up again next weekend. Oh, hi, Jasmine. I didn't see it. Heck, I fell asleep. Oh no, you fell asleep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did try to stall as long as I could, but I'm glad that you came around. Hello, Tainted Sardine as well. While you're here, Jasmine, I know I'm sorry you missed out on my reaction to the reveal of Andrew Hussey. That was such a cool reveal. I wish you'd been there, but I didn't know that was going to happen with the reveal of something else happened today. No, I just discovered that Andrew Hussey is a character in Homestuck as well, and I was like, what? So that was just a really cool. That's why I was like, oh, I wish you'd been there for that reaction, because it was such an amazing moment that came out of nowhere. Let's see, I just got a text from a friend. Oh no, sorry, I was telling my friend he needs to watch Has-Been Hotel, but he had to work yesterday. That's okay. Any questions about the first year? Well, I think I've actually, I feel like I've got a lot of, I just read that whole long-ass recap episode just now, so I actually have a lot of clarity about what is happening in the story. So, because originally I did have some questions, but now I don't have any questions because I just read all of that. But actually, while I've got you and whoever else is here still, I mean, you said you were trying to finish Act 4, but you're already done. Oh, this is the end of Act 4? So this is the end of Act 4. Is that right? I don't remember that. When did Act... So Act 4 is done. Let me check the... Oh my god. Actually, I'm just going to go back a sec, just because I just want to screen grab this. For reasons. Okay, and I'm just going to go to the archive. Oh, did you start even earlier than usual? I know the recap isn't too... I didn't start earlier. I started streaming at 9 o'clock pretty much, but then I started at 9. That's like I have the intermission for about half an hour, so that was 9:30 for me, and then I sort of like stalled for about 20 minutes, and then I started reading. So like on Saturday I have it at like 1:30 for me, and then yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have these streams like at the same time. That way it's not confusing. All right. Let me just. I'll come back in a moment just to sort this out. Just give me a quick moment. Okay, I'm back now. All right, sorry about that. I just had to go answer something. All right, so let's see. So today, yeah, 9 a.m. but maybe I should just try to keep the streams uniform. So today's Sunday for me, and I think, so I started to put the Saturday streams later because I figured, well, if it's Friday for other people, they're probably not able to watch the streams at a certain time because they're at work, but so I decided to put the streams later on Saturday. But I'm thinking maybe I should just have the Homestuck streams later on my Sundays as well, if that makes it easier. That's the usual time I'm used to, which is 6 p.m. for me, but it's 7:30 now. So have you had the stream up including the pre-stuff for 90 minutes roughly? How long have we been streaming? I don't know how long we've been streaming for. I guess it's been 2 hours. Yeah, like, my plan is to pretty much stop here today just because it took a while to read all of that recap just now. And, it started off pretty strong with the Andrew Hussey reveal. I think that's Andrew Hussey. I looked up a photo of him and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's who that is. And, his name is AH and he's like, yeah, I'm making this webcomic. It's like telling us to go away. I'll see if I can check. I mean, I get notifications, so it's okay. Oh, okay. I do have the schedule up on Twitch as well to show what time. I wish YouTube had that, actually. I wish I could. Though I'm pretty sure I did schedule it before. Like, I did schedule it on YouTube. So if you ever get confused, like, I always have the streams, like, and it should, yeah. So you should be able to see. I hope that YouTube does let people know, like, what time the streams are starting, because I have them planned in advance. While you're here, Jasmine, I was just wanting to get some feedback because I'm making a video about murder drones at the moment, and I'm trying to edit my audio in a way that's hopefully okay. Community posts, you schedule them a day ahead, so that's fine. Yeah. I guess I could do the community post thing as well. While I've got you here, could I just play like a sample of some audio just to see? Because it's hard to. I don't know, for some reason it's hard for me to judge if audio sounds good when I edit myself. Quick notice. This video will contain spoilers. Quick notice. This video will contain spoilers for the 1930 novella The Whisperer in Darkness by H.P. Lovecraft, the 1898 book War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and of course, Murder Drones, which you can watch all of for free via Glitch's YouTube channel. Additionally, refer to what is listed on the screen for anything else I mention that could be spoiled. Also, I guess content warning for robotic violence and cannibalism. Lastly, any analysis in this video essay is just my opinion. All good? Sweet. Yeah, so, let's see. How did the audio sound in that? Was that okay, or do you think it could use some improvement? Like, be honest. Like, I do want. Notice sounds fine and clear. Okay. All right then. Well, I guess that. All right then. Sounds clear. I guess that's the main thing. Haven't seen Murder Drones yet. I recommend it. It's only 8 episodes and you can watch it on YouTube for free. Do you play any clips during it? I can say the video is quieter than your live sound. Do you play any clips during it? Yeah, okay, so the reason it's quieter is because my desktop audio is down. Let me put the desktop audio all the way up. See if that makes a difference. Quick notice. This video will contain spoilers for... Quick notice. This video will contain spoilers for the 1930 novella The Whisperer in Darkness by H.P. Lovecraft, the 1898 book War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and of course, Murder Drones, which you can watch all of for free via Glitch's YouTube channel. Additionally, refer to what is listed on the screen for anything else I mention that could be spoiled. Also, I guess content warning for robotic violence and cannibalism. Lastly, any analysis in this video essay is just my opinion. All good? Sweet. Let's see, let me just check. Do you play any clips here? I don't know how it's balanced in relation to any clips you play. When you say clips, are you talking about, what do you mean by clips? I'm basically checking if your narration and any clips you have any uncomfortable volume jumps. Okay. Let me just check. Because I sort of created my own custom preset, but I also based it on somebody else's YouTube tutorial. But I should have probably saved the original volume. Oh, it's still good. But yeah, I don't think there was any. Let me see if I can remove the. Can I remove the preset? No, it's all there. I mean, if you made an analytical point about some section of Murder Drones, then followed it up with something cut from the work itself. I mean, I'm not so much talking about like I'm also talking about, like, I guess are you talking about footage from the show, or are you talking about the audio? You know what? I think I just figured what I could do. I'm probably just going to leave this notice how it is, and then I'll just record the rest of what I'm going to. And you're probably able to hear that anyway. If you mean your own mic quality, you're perfectly fine. Okay. All right. I won't think about it too hard. See, I like when doing Homestuck, your volume used to be unbalanced with the S, like Dave Strife, and cause some hurt ears. Oh man. I see. All right. Well, hopefully it'll just turn out the way I want it to turn out, because I'm always like trying to figure out how to improve things that I don't know how to do. But yeah. All right. Well, I don't know what's next in Homestuck for next week, but this will be continued for next week. So thanks for coming out to anyone who came over, and of course Jasmine, thanks for coming over, and I appreciate the feedback. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. I mean, if you insert any footage from the show, I can also continue on Blue Sky, or I think you have Discord from the show. Oh, no, that's okay. It's all good. I highly recommend watching the show if it's something that you're interested in. It's on Glitch's channel. Yeah, great show. You can watch it for free on YouTube. It's by the same guy that did, I think his name's Liam Vickers. see. He did this short film called, let's see, let me look it up. Uh-oh, I'm getting a phone call, but I'm going to ignore it because of reasons. Let's see, where is it? This, did this short, yeah, he did Cliffside.
Refresh your mouth and mind and share good vibes with Tic Tac.
All eyes are on Specsavers Black Friday sale with 50% off all lens options.
This is Cliffside.
I think this is Liam Vickers' voice.
Ruled by only the most ruthless Johnny Law Evadinist, no good horse spookiness, Dastardly of the Dastardly, aka my voiceover.
Yeah.
What? Did somebody say something? Something about a voiceover?
Not me.
Scarf?
Sorry, I'm spoiling the short film. I better not do that. Yeah, well, anyways, I'll end it here for today. Thank you, everyone, and take care of yourselves.